Hi there, Will here, and today I'm back in my little home darkroom to make some prints of negatives that I've made over the last few months. I haven't really been in here over the last few months because over the summer period it gets really unpleasantly warm in here, so I steered clear and now I've got a bunch of stuff to catch up on, which should be fun. Although, unfortunately, since it's been a few months, my developer has expired. So this is also going to be an experiment in using Ilford Multigrade developer that had expired quite some time ago. I'm going to do this a bit differently to the way I did the darkroom things last time as well. I'm going to try and make it a bit more concise by sort of boshing out the prints and contact sheets, reflecting on them as a lot, and seeing how that goes. There have been a couple of new developments since the last time you were in here with me as well. I picked up a Jobo for very cheap, and I also picked up another multi-grade enlarger, which is exciting. So now I've got two multi-grade enlargers. You can never have enough multi-grade enlargers. Anyway, it's time to get cracking now and see if that developer works. Right, I know I said I wasn't going to check in as frequently this time, but this is the first little contact test strip thing that I'm doing. Even though, as people did point out in the last video, how I could do it by standardizing it. I am doing that this time. I'm standardizing my contact sheets, but this was just to test the developer. And the developer looks terrible. Everything is like really fogged and totally washed out and brown somehow. So I'm probably going to have to go pick up some fresh developer. Hopefully I'll have time to do that. But before I do that, I'm going to do a full contact sheet like this, just for the sake of interest. And if the full contact sheet looks half decent, I might even do a print, because I've got a liter of expired developer here, and who knows, maybe people like that. Okay, so using expired developer to try and make some prints and contact sheets was an absolutely miserable decision, and I'm never doing it again. This is 32 seconds at f22 at a grade of 5, which is the most contrasty grade that an enlarger is capable of doing, and it's still flat. Flat, 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 flat. That is 20 seconds at a grade of 5. And it somehow looks better. The blacks are almost blacker in that one than they are in the one which has like a third more time on it. It's kind of terrible. So this silly person over here is going to go buy some new developer and then continue from there onwards. Sorry for wasting your time. Never, ever, 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 ever try make prints with expired developer. Here's a little contrast between what the developer does look like, my old one, and what it is meant to look like. What it does look like, what it's meant to look like. So hopefully that's going to solve our problems. I'll check back in when I've got some prints and contact sheets to talk about, but I'm glad that little misadventure is over. Righto, that's all the contact sheets done with the actual functional developer. I mean, let's compare what those turned out like. Anyway, I'm going to do some quick selects and then we're going to print some stuff. There's a really nice landscape of Lion's Head over there that I took from a yacht, which may or may not come up in a future video, and a cool photo of some lounger chair things from a photo shoot I did a while ago that the pictures haven't released from yet, with my friend Aubrey. It was his shoot, I was assisting. There's a picture of a cactus growing through a shoe, which is cool. One of these portraits might be nice. Maybe this one. And also either the picture of the house or... Wait, that doesn't make sense. There's a picture missing here. Anyway, this picture. No, there isn't a picture missing. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, this one. A smoky picture, which will be very difficult to print, but still nice. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 prints to go for. Actually, 5. We'll see how we get along. But that should net us some nice stuff. So I'm just standing here looking at these things, right? And this one is substantially foggier than, say, this one. Or at least that's the way it looks to be. And that's got me worried that the fix is also expired. Even though it doesn't visually look expired, I feel like it doesn't actually start to visually look expired, it just expires. And what that means is that it'll look fine for a little while, and then come tomorrow morning, everything will be completely ruined. And I don't want to go further than I've already gone printing stuff, only for it to be unfixed. I mean, this isn't a total dead loss, because I've done a bunch of prints now, and I have the settings for all of them, but I think I'm going to call it quits there until I have confirmed that my fix is actually fixing. I've got a bunch of contact sheets and some cool prints though, so that's a success. I'll talk more about them tomorrow, I reckon. It's the next day now, and I think the fix actually ended up working fine. I think I overreacted because the developer situation threw me for a loop, and things being unfixed is slightly harder to deal with because it's after the fact. But anyway, this is what the contacts all turned out like. There's some pictures on here that I can't show you yet because it's unreleased stuff, but that's a picture of Jono. This is some influencer guy. This is the paragliding pre-shots. More pictures of Jono and some unreleased stuff. And that landscape, which I didn't end up printing out of fear. Some behind the scenes stuff on a set, and that lovely boot, and a very long exposure of a tidal pool, and then smoky fire stuff. And there is like some fogging on these contact sheets and stuff still, but maybe that was just me mishandling the paper. And the prints themselves, the boot one is maybe slightly more contrasty than I'd like it to be, but it turned out very nice. In spite of that, I mean, there is still shadow detail and the highlights are all there, which is a tick on both those fronts. The lounger chair one is really contrasty and dark, but it kind of needs to be because the background is so bright white. This is like midday and a pure white background, so it works for me. You may have noticed yesterday evening that there are two of these smoky tree prints in opposite directions. That's because one of them was printed with the negative in the wrong way around, and one of them was printed in with the negative the right way around. Somehow the wrong way around negative is a lot sharper, but overall a great success. Anyway, on the print front, we had a print giveaway last week, and I'd like to congratulate Yabome V for winning that. So if I butchered your name, I'm sorry, but congratulations to you. And your comment was that you loved the song and the last diptychs, which is cool, because I like those diptychs too. The car and the lake, especially, the way that the clouds and the pumpkins sort of sit next to each other was really fun. We also gathered a bunch of nice data on people who wear socks versus the people who don't wear socks last week as a result of my little quip towards the end. So shout out to both the non-sock wearers and the sock wearers. You may have noticed as well in these prints that I made that I cropped into them, so they're slightly more cropped in than an actual 6x7 image would be, which is both because I wanted the picture to be quite large on the paper, because it's big paper and I want to get the most out of it, and because the back that I use for black and white has some leaks on the side, and cropping it this way kind of removes the leaks, which is nice. And the last thing, the print store that I've been working on is still in the works. I'm not going to put it out into the world until it's really ready, just because I want it to be as nice a store as the prints on the store are going to be, if that makes sense. Not to toot my own horn, I just want it to be nice. Anyway, I'll see you next week.